Peter Moores, thank you very much for joining us at Graduate Jobs in Sport Live. We're delighted to have had you here today. Maybe just, if you wouldn't mind, explaining a little bit about what it was you were talking to the students about this morning.
I was talking about coaching, something I'm very passionate about. I've been lucky to be in pro sport for 31 years now, I think, half as a player, half as a coach. So it was a great chance to speak to people who are ambitious about moving to sport, because when we coach, it's not just coaching the cricket or whatever, it's all strength and conditioning coaches. They all have got to deliver in a certain style, and so I was trying to give some insights on what I think. They were great, actually, very interactive, as students often are, and it was a really good sort of 30 to 40 minutes.
Obviously, you downstairs this morning, the room was packed, and I know that everyone was really engaged in the presentation. Just give a little bit of a flavour around some of the character traits, the personality traits, etc. What it is that you believe is almost essential, I guess, for people to succeed in what is a very competitive industry trying to get into professional coaching.
It is competitive. I think when you first start, the one thing you think, you've got to have a load of knowledge and you've got to give it to somebody to make them better. I think the more you coach, you start to understand actually it's not like that at all. Yes, you have knowledge, but you're working with the person, and really you're going to be the other way around. Probably the best advice I got was if you view yourself as a student and the player as the teacher, that's a better way around than the other way of thinking you're the teacher and they're the student. Then you'll listen to them, you'll work with them, and hopefully make whatever you coach with them unique. The challenge for all the students here, if they want to go into that field, is they need a point of difference. You've got to be good if you're going to go all the way through, and pick what sort of coaching you want. There's all sorts of coaching, from recreational all the way through to elite sport, in a field that's growing all the time.
Most people at the event today would have recognised you potentially with your England hat on, previously when you were the head coach of England, of course, and now at Lancashire. Maybe just explain a little bit about the jobs you had before that, how you finished up at that. I know, appreciate that's the destination, but if you like, the journey to get to there.
Well, my journey probably started as a player at Sussex. I used to coach in the winters, went abroad and coached and did well, and enjoyed it, and then coached for the club in the winters, coaching anything from under 10-year-olds to, I think the oldest chap I coached was 82. And earned my stripes a bit by doing a lot of hard work, working in the squads and the courses, and enjoyed that. And then from that, I got a chance to coach professionally for Sussex when I stopped playing, which I took, and then we developed a very strong setup and system, I think, and with some great players, and we were successful. And from that, got the National Academy Director's job for the ECB. Which was the start of a journey, I think, with England, and that we were trying to develop that into a performance centre, which it is now, which services not just sort of 18 to 23-year-olds, services all English cricket, from the women, the disabled, the men. Everybody goes through that centre. And then through that, coached England, and then from England on to Lancashire. Each job's had its own challenges. It's always great fun. I still love coaching lesser players in many ways. I mean, I've got 2 children. My son plays. Coaching at schools, they're all great fun. So you've either got the coaching bug in you or you haven't. I think you need to have it in you, because you need to have some level of passion and energy, enthusiasm to support people through the process.
One of my questions was going to be, so did you always want to be a coach? But I think you've answered that already. So in that case, what is it about coaching that you enjoy so much?
Well, for me, it's a chance to try and help people achieve things, achieve potential or whatever, and that's limited sometimes by the talent they start with, but to get better, to see improvement in somebody and the enjoyment you get from that is great fun. So we're working with some extraordinarily talented lads at county level and at international level, but you get the same enjoyment watching a 9-year-old who couldn't bowl it straight suddenly start to be able to bowl it straight, and then be able to go and play in a game and meet people and enjoy competition, and it's a healthy way, I think. So I enjoy coaching, I enjoy looking at other sports. Sport's been part of my life, so in some ways it never felt like I went to work. I played it, and then I very luckily got into coaching, and I managed to stay in so far and enjoyed every minute of it.
As a cricket coach, do you ever share expertise and experience with other coaches from other sports? I mean, do you look at other sports and try and learn from them as well? But do you also get to meet other coaches from other industries, from other sports?
Yeah, we do all the time. I think you can read other people's books as well. You're always trying to find things that are outside of your normal environment. And I think with sport, what's changed a lot, certainly from the job point of view, is that sports aren't stuck with their own people. So we don't just employ people who do cricket in cricket. Now, the diversity is part of the strength, I think, of all sports, and you're looking for the skills that other people bring. So it can be business, it can be a different sport, people who measure things better. All sorts of different skills are needed to produce the right sort of 1 systems and 2 environments for people to play in and get better.
I read recently of the RFU and Stuart Lancaster appointing a coach on British cycling. So do you think going forward that's going to happen more and more, coaches moving from sport to sport?
Yeah, well, some sports have got real specialisms, haven't they? I mean, I think the cycling's been sort of famous for its attention to detail, its marginal gains. They're about generating power, which is relevant in all sports. So you're always looking to try and find out what other people do. If people move around, can you use them in your own setup? Because, as I say, part of the sport is the technical side. The rest is really about the people and about trying to find ways of, at elite level, getting a point of difference, getting an edge on somebody else.
Just in terms of trying to gain a small insight into a professional sports club, obviously you're at Lancashire. How many coaches and assistants and support staff would a county cricket club employ?
We'd have a lot of coaches. At pro level, we'd work normally with about 3 or 4 coaches and myself, plus a couple of strength and conditioning trainers and physios. But down the chain, you've got coaches that go with all the squads. You have coaches that work for us for the Lancashire Cricket Board. There's coaches at all the schools that go into schools. There's coaches that work at clubs. So it's a hugely growing market. Coaching is quite a new thing in some ways. So I think if you want to go into it, it's great fun. Go in looking to be good at it, be ambitious, to get out there and pick what sort of coaching you want, from women to men to kids to recreational, going towards elite. But there's great opportunities for everybody.
Peter, a really inspirational couple of minutes and a really inspirational 30 or 40 minutes this morning. I know that everyone that listened and watched really appreciated it. On behalf of Graduate Jobs in Sport Live, thank you very much for today. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.